Have you ever been watching a cricket match, absolutely convinced you saw something the umpire missed and just yelled at the screen? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you their position on the field isn't about getting a comfy view? What if it's all about obeying the fundamental laws of physics? Today, we're diving into the hidden science of exactly where an umpire has to stand.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a quote that, well, it doesn't pull any punches, does it? But let's be honest, it kind of captures that frustration we all feel sometimes. It's so easy to sit back and think, come on, I've got a better angle from my couch.
But that's the real question, isn't it? Is finding the perfect view just a matter of picking a good spot? Or is there a much deeper scientific reason why umpires are locked into those very specific positions? Let's get into it.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll cover the one rule that governs everything. Then, we'll explore the distinct perspectives from the bowler's end and from square leg. After that, we'll get into the actual science of sightlines, and finally, see how this all comes together as a game of angles.
All right, first things first. An umpire can't just set up camp wherever they feel like it. Their entire job, their whole positioning, is built on one single foundational principle from the laws of cricket.
Now, that sounds pretty simple, right? Almost obvious. But the key phrase here is best see. That doesn't just mean having an unobstructed view. It means being in the only geometric position on that entire field from which a correct decision is even physically possible. This one sentence is the whole game.
So you take that rule and you apply it to this 22-yard stage. What you end up with are two very specific locations. You get the umpire at the bowler's end, standing right behind the stumps, and you get the umpire at the striker's end, who's way out at square leg. Each one has a totally different view, and because of that, a totally different set of responsibilities.
So let's start with the main umpire, the one with that classic view straight down the pitch, looking right over the bowler's shoulder. Their job is all about one thing: the path of the ball.
You see, their entire reason for being there is to judge sideways movement. From that one spot, and only that spot, can they see if a ball is truly in line with the stumps or if it's drifting to the left or right. That lateral plane is their world.
And this is exactly why they make the calls they do. For an LBW, you have to be perfectly in line to judge if the ball would have hit the stumps. For a wide, you have to be in line to see its distance from the guidelines. Even for things like caught behind, that's the best spot to hear that faint little nick. You simply cannot make these calls accurately from anywhere else.
Okay, so now let's wander over to the second umpire. The square leg umpire stands perpendicular to the pitch, which gives them a completely different, side-on perspective of everything that's happening.
For them, the universe revolves around one critical white line, the popping crease. They need to be perfectly aligned with it, because their main job is to be the ultimate judge of everything that happens right at the batsman's feet.
And because they're in line with that crease, they have the perfect angle to see if a batsman's foot is behind the line for a stumping or a run-out. It's also the only good angle to judge the height of the ball for bouncers. They can also see if a batsman hits their own wicket, all things the main umpire would struggle to see.
So we have two umpires, two very different jobs. But here's the big question. Why can't they swap? Why can't that square leg umpire, who's often so much closer to the action, make a call on, say, a wide ball? Well, the answer isn't about tradition. It's about physics.
I mean, this really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? It seems so logical. They're right there. They're so close. But their angle creates an optical illusion that makes it impossible to judge what a wide is all about, which is sideways distance.
And the scientific reason for this is something called parallax error. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. When you look at something from the side, your brain can't properly tell where it is in relation to the background. So a ball that looks like it's a foot wide from square leg might have only been inches away in reality. Your eyes are literally tricking you.
This is where it all clicks into place. Think of it this way. The bowler's end umpire is a specialist in the horizontal, all that sideways movement. The square leg umpire is a specialist in the vertical, judging height. That parallax error we just talked about makes it impossible for the square leg umpire to rule on sideways calls, and interestingly, it makes it really tough for the main umpire to accurately judge height.
Hey, don't just take my word for it. This is directly from an official ICC umpire training source. They've studied this. They found that the umpire at the bowler's end consistently sees the ball as being lower than it actually is. It's official confirmation that each umpire has a scientifically assigned role that the other one just can't perform correctly.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, it really shifts your perspective.
You go from being a potentially frustrated fan to actually appreciating the incredible geometric puzzle that an umpire has to solve on every single delivery. At the end of the day, where an umpire stands has nothing to do with opinion or tradition. It is a non-negotiable solution to an optical physics problem. To make the right call, they have to be in that one single spot on the field where distortion is minimized for their specific job, whether that's judging line, height, or the crease.
So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you're watching a match and there's a super close call, maybe you'll see it a little differently. You're not just watching one person's judgment. You're watching a real-time application of physics, where being in the right place isn't just important, it's the only way to get to the truth.